So today's discussion panel brings together representatives from two sides of the equation here. From the consumer and physician side, we've got Chris Schroeder, CEO of Health Central, a growing online network of consumer health information sites and services, and Frank Britt, CEO of Primed, a leading provider of physician education via live conferences and online media events. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
You know, both of you are information providers, just with a different audience, one consumers and one doctors. Let's just talk a bit about what consumers and doctors are looking for today in terms of the information, education, and services that surround them. I mean, Chris, maybe what you can start with is, tell us a bit about how consumers' basic information needs and media consumption habits are changing, and what you see as the implications, if you will, for someone like yourself and your business like yourself. What does that mean to your business?
You know, it's an extension of what I touched on before about the broader trends in interactive media, which the previous panel also has to wrestle with every day. Whether we like it or not, the consumers are now completely active in their information, communication, and engagement on their healthcare. And my own personal view, from my own personal experience, this is a very good thing. This does not belittle the science or the doctors by any stretch of the imagination. That's the most profound aspect of anything that goes on with healthcare. But the reality is, more and more now, people are showing up in their doctor's office completely researched, completely engaged in thinking about the questions they want to ask, what kind of treatments might be relevant, and again, as I was alluding to before, how you live your life on a day-to-day basis. And again, it's an extension of what's been going on in the offline world. Everyone in this room has had a fundamental health issue that they've wrestled, by which the science and the clinical information is of deep importance. But every one of us in this room who've been through this found someone else who's been there in order to get some advice, again, sometimes clinical in nature, but more often than not, just how do you live your life on a day-to-day basis.
So one of the obvious differences between your businesses is that your business is primarily conducted exclusively online. Your business is moving, if you will, online, but primarily it's been an offline business.
Yeah.
With the premium on the doctor's time, with the ubiquity of internet access, with the rapid adoption, particularly by doctors of smartphones, and what is the strategic importance and role, I guess, of live events and conferences going forward for the doctor and for your pharmaceutical sponsors?
Yeah, I looked up on Google, but I couldn't figure out who's made that original famous quote that says the rumors of our demise have been greatly exaggerated. But I think this notion that somehow live events are, quote, going away is a myth. In fact, our attendance suggests the opposite, that we're continuing to grow attendance. And you say, well, why is that? People are busier than ever. They have, I went on this morning and checked, there's 1,860 physician iPhone applications available, not to be confused with the 3,100 consumer applications. And so why are they still coming to live events? And the answer is that, you know, in their day-to-day practice, obviously their primary focus is treating patients, and they really don't have a place in their day-to-day life to really immerse themselves, as you have today, in a learning context and get that kind of engagement that is unique to a live setting.
Coming back to you, Chris, just coming back maybe to the Uber question about just what sponsors are asking for. What are pharma sponsors maybe pushing you towards in terms of what they'd like your site or sites to do that maybe they can't yet do today? And maybe give us some view in terms of what's new out there, in terms of what might be coming.
We try to be really, really focused on what is something that can really move the dial in a unique way. So just as one quick example of this, which I believe that there'll be a pharma ramification, but I'm not 100% sure yet of how it will work. But we license exclusively some special know-how from Johns Hopkins, and we just launched very quietly something called Mood 24/7, and it's a phone SMS app, and it'll be a Google and iPhone app in the next few weeks. It could be the most simple idea, but it answers the question of making somebody's life better, easier, faster, cheaper, more efficient. How we patent this thing, I don't really know. But anybody who knows anything about mood disorders knows that one of the best predictabilities of the efficacy of treatment on a mood disorder is literally tracking people's moods on a regular basis. So we've developed in this really interesting way an unbelievably simple texting capability tied to a database where you are totally in control of who gets access to this, your doctor, your caregivers, but how do you feel each day? Absolutely crystal clear, easy engagement. It actually meets a need. It's not an app for an app's sake. It's not our mobile strategy. It's just part of the ethos of how technology can make real consumers' lives better, faster, cheaper, more efficient, more beautiful than the way they did things before. And that's what I think our marketers expect from us. They don't want us to be gimmicky with them. They want us to help them really figure out how they can participate in meeting a very, very concrete need. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks very much.